Your person is going through an intense and overwhelming phase in their life right now, one that has forced them to confront emotions they tried to avoid for a long time. You, on the other hand, have reached a breaking point. You are completely done with their back-and-forth behavior, the inconsistency, the mixed signals, and the emotional confusion that once kept you tied to the connection. What makes this even harder for them is that they are fully aware of it. They know you have reached your limit, and that awareness is slowly driving them insane. Watching you detach, emotionally and mentally, has shaken them in ways they never expected. You are no longer waiting around, no longer chasing clarity, and no longer prioritizing them over your own growth. Instead, you are pouring your energy into your career, your goals, and your personal life, and that shift has changed the entire dynamic between you. At one point, they felt an overwhelming sense of possessiveness toward you. Their feelings ran so deep that they crossed unhealthy boundaries without realizing it. That possessiveness slowly turned into a need for control, as they tried to hold on to you out of fear rather than love. They believed that by controlling the situation, they could secure the connection and prevent loss. However, the opposite happened. Instead of feeling safe or supported, you began to feel suffocated. What was supposed to be love started to feel like a cage. The more they tightened their grip, the more trapped you felt, until the relationship became emotionally exhausting rather than comforting. As time passed, the weight of this dynamic took a toll on you. You stopped feeling free to be yourself, to grow at your own pace, or to breathe without explanation. The connection that once felt meaningful began to drain you. You realized that love should bring peace, not constant tension, confusion, or self-doubt. This realization became the turning point where you chose yourself. You chose your healing, your independence, and your future over remaining stuck in an unhealthy cycle. Now, your person is left facing the consequences of their actions. They feel an overwhelming sense of regret, one that follows them constantly. There are moments when they are not just upset with the situation, but deeply angry at themselves. They replay past conversations, arguments, and decisions in their mind, wishing they had handled things differently. They recognize how their behavior pushed you away instead of bringing you closer, and that realization hurts more than anything else. The guilt weighs heavily on them, especially because they now understand what they lost. What makes this period even more painful for them is the loneliness they are experiencing. There is no one in their life who loves them the way you did, with patience, depth, and unconditional care. They are beginning to understand that kind of love is rare, and they took it for granted. The absence of your presence has created a void they cannot fill, no matter how hard they try to distract themselves. Every interaction feels empty compared to what they shared with you, and this only intensifies their longing. The silence between you both has become one of their biggest struggles. What once might have felt like space now feels like punishment. The lack of communication leaves them feeling insecure and anxious, as they are constantly afraid of what this silence might mean. They fear that while they hesitate or delay making things right, you are slowly moving on. The thought of you building a future without them terrifies them, especially because they can sense that you are no longer emotionally dependent on the connection. Your independence, which they once feared, now feels like a reminder of how easily they could lose you forever. This fear has become a wake-up call. They are no longer afraid of dropping everything if it means having another chance with you. The things that once held them back, pride, fear, hesitation, or external distractions, no longer matter the way they used to. Losing you has forced them to reevaluate their priorities, and they are beginning to understand that nothing compares to the value of what you shared. The idea of life without you feels unbearable, and that realization has changed their perspective completely. Now, they are being drawn back to you, not out of control or possessiveness, but out of desperation to make things right. They are realizing that love cannot survive without trust, freedom, and mutual respect. Whether or not you choose to accept their return, they know one thing for certain: you have changed them. Your absence has become their greatest lesson, and the connection they once mishandled is now the one thing they are willing to fight for with everything they have left. I feel an overwhelming emotional pull toward you, one that I have tried to deny, rationalize, and suppress for far too long. The truth is, you are the only person for whom I genuinely feel romantic love in its deepest and most authentic form. This is not a passing feeling or a momentary attachment. It is something that lives within me constantly, something I carry with me no matter how hard I try to set it aside. I have reached a point where I can no longer pretend that these feelings do not exist, because hiding the truth from you has caused me more pain than the fear of admitting it ever could. Keeping this inside has become a daily struggle, a quiet battle between my heart and my fear, and the weight of that struggle has grown unbearable. Being without you has felt like living in a kind of emotional exile. It has been hell in ways I find difficult to explain, because the absence of you is not just physical, it feels spiritual, as though something essential has been torn away. I know I played a role in creating this distance. I know I was the one who pushed you away, who made you believe that what we shared was an illusion or something imagined, when deep down I was fully aware of the truth. I knew how real our connection was, how rare it felt, and how deeply it affected me. Yet instead of protecting it, I allowed fear, confusion, and my own inner conflicts to take control, and I let you believe something that was never true. There were moments when the intensity of my feelings for you scared me. My emotions do not exist on the surface, they run deep, powerful, and consuming. At times, my desire to be close to you, to hold you, to feel your presence, became so intense that it overwhelmed me. I did not know how to process feelings that strong, and instead of embracing them, I resisted them. You have the ability to trigger emotions in me so easily, sometimes without even trying, and that vulnerability frightened me more than I was willing to admit. Giving someone that much emotional power felt risky, even dangerous, and I was afraid of losing control of myself. And yet, despite all of that fear, there is something profoundly grounding about you. Even when I feel triggered, even when my emotions feel chaotic, I feel an undeniable sense of comfort and safety with you. Being emotionally exposed around you does not feel threatening in the way it does with others. Instead, it feels honest, raw, and real. There is a sense of recognition there, as though my heart knows you in a way my mind struggles to understand. That contradiction, feeling both deeply vulnerable and deeply safe, is something I have never experienced before. After walking away from you, I began to realize the true cost of my choices. It feels as though my soul itself is crying out for your love, mourning something it knows it has lost but still longs for. The silence you left behind is loud, and it echoes in moments when I least expect it. I carry this ache quietly, but it never truly leaves. No matter how much time passes, there is a part of me that reaches for you instinctively, as if you are still meant to be there. This journey has not been easy for me either, even if it may have appeared that way from the outside. Loving you has been both a gift and a challenge. There are moments when these feelings fill me with happiness, inspiration, and warmth, bringing out the best parts of who I am. You make me want to grow, to understand myself better, and to become more emotionally honest. At the same time, this connection has forced me to confront my fears, insecurities, and unresolved wounds. Sometimes it triggers parts of me that are painful and difficult to face, and in those moments, the worst parts of me can surface. What makes this even harder is knowing that both of these experiences, the beauty and the pain, exist at the same time. Loving you is not simple or comfortable, but it is real. It challenges me in ways nothing else ever has, and that is precisely why it matters so much. I am slowly coming to understand that the intensity one once feared is also the source of the depth and meaning I feel. Walking away did not erase these emotions, it only made me more aware of how deeply rooted they are. I am not sharing this because I expect anything in return, nor because I want to rewrite the past. I am sharing it because the truth deserves to be spoken, and because pretending otherwise has cost me too much already. What I feel for you is genuine, profound, and enduring. It has shaped me, challenged me, and changed me in ways I am still learning to understand. Whether or not our paths ever truly align again, I needed you to know that what we shared was real to me, and that the love I feel is not something I can simply forget or dismiss. Your partner is presently in a deep phase of contemplation, carefully reflecting on what kind of relationship they truly want with you and what it means for their future. Memories from the past continue to surface, replaying moments of closeness, shared emotions, and unspoken understanding, and these recollections are making them miss you more intensely than they may outwardly admit. The absence of communication between you has created a quiet but profound ache within them, one that settles heavily in their heart. While they understand the importance of the healthy boundaries you have put in place, the emotional distance feels unbearable at times, leaving them grappling with feelings of loss, longing, and emotional vulnerability. This separation has forced them to sit with their emotions rather than distract themselves from them, and in doing so, they are becoming more aware of how deeply connected they still feel to you. At the same time, your partner is torn between desire and hesitation. They want to approach you again, but not abruptly or emotionally overwhelming. Instead, they imagine reconnecting in a way that feels safe, friendly yet subtly flirty, testing the emotional waters without exposing themselves completely. This cautious approach stems from a lack of confidence in being fully vulnerable right now. They fear opening up too quickly, worried that showing the full depth of their emotions might lead to rejection or further emotional pain. As a result, they are choosing to move slowly, allowing themselves to rebuild emotional courage step by step, even though their heart longs for deeper intimacy and honesty with you. This connection, however meaningful, is not something that can be rushed. Both timing and emotional readiness play crucial roles, and your partner senses that patience is necessary for things to unfold naturally. They believe that although progress may feel slow or even stagnant at times, the bond you share is still very much alive and gradually aligning to manifest in physical reality. Until that moment arrives, the universe is gently guiding both of you through lessons, experiences, and opportunities for growth. You are encouraged to appreciate what is currently being offered to you, whether it is peace, self-discovery, emotional clarity, or new perspectives, because these moments are shaping you into a stronger, more grounded version of yourself. There is also a long-standing period of separation that continues to linger, and your partner is acutely aware of it. Despite the distance and silence, their level of attraction and love for you has not diminished. In fact, time apart has only clarified their feelings, helping them realize that their connection to you runs deeper than temporary circumstances. Even now, they feel drawn to you with the same intensity, sensing your presence energetically and emotionally, even in your absence. This ongoing attraction is both comforting and painful, as it reminds them of what they cherish while also highlighting what they cannot yet fully have. During this time, your partner is undergoing a significant healing process. They are becoming increasingly aware of their codependent patterns, how they may have relied too heavily on emotional reassurance, validation, or closeness in the past. This realization has prompted them to take responsibility for their own emotional well-being rather than placing that weight entirely on another person. Healing, for them, is not linear. It comes in waves of clarity followed by moments of emotional struggle. Still, they are committed to breaking unhealthy cycles and learning how to love in a more balanced, secure, and grounded way. In addition to emotional healing, your partner is also striving to establish a healthier balance between their financial responsibilities and personal life. Financial pressures have played a significant role in shaping their stress levels and self-worth, sometimes making them feel inadequate or unprepared for emotional commitments. They are now actively trying to stabilize this area of their life, believing that a stronger foundation will allow them to show up more fully and confidently in relationships. This process requires discipline, patience, and self-reflection, but they see it as a necessary step toward becoming the partner they want to be. Ultimately, your partner's journey is one of growth, introspection, and emotional maturity. Though the road ahead may still involve distance and uncertainty, their feelings for you remain constant and sincere. They are learning that true connection does not disappear during silence but transforms, deepens, and waits for the right moment to re-emerge. Until then, both of you are being guided to focus on healing, balance, and self-worth, trusting that when the time is right, what is meant to align will do so naturally and authentically.